Hello, I'm Gary Schotten. I'm founder of IBB Talks, Inspiring Better Business, and we're here in my friend's auto repair shop in my hometown. But just recently I was in the country of Nairobi, or in Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya, and I met Alfred. And you're going to hear from him in a bit, and you're going to hear the first half of his story of how he started his life and how he loved to be a mechanic and how he actually was a wonderful employee. He was very dedicated. He had full wisdom, but he worked as an employee. And in this session, he's also going to talk about when he ventured outside his passion, outside of what he was really comfortable doing, and it didn't work. And so this is the first half of Alfred Mutua's life story. Let's listen to Alfred. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Alfred Mutua Kamole. I'm born again. Love Jesus as my Lord and Savior. That is, I'm 47 years old. I'm the managing director for Universal Outreach Limited, a company. We do car repairs. It's a workshop. We do car repairs, accident repairs, servicing of vehicles, ranging from small vehicles to heavy commercial. We do fabrication. We do engine overhauls, all kinds of electrical works on vehicles. Let me say, automotive is our passion, and that's what we do here at Universal Auto. My story began in 1991 when I decided to pursue the passion of my heart. As a small boy, I loved the repair of making cars, and you could see myself collecting tins, metal tins, and fabricating any small cars and toys. From where I grew up in the village, with the kind of economy and the family status, we could not afford to buy car toys. So I used to fabricate my own small cars, and I grew with that passion. And me say, after completing my A levels in 1989, I decided to pursue a course that could lead me to where my heart is. And that's when I went to National Youth Service, where I trained in auto electrical for 5 years, from 1991 to 1995. From there, I got a job with a company based in the UK called Crown Rock Limited, where we were assembling Land Rovers, rehabilitating Land Rovers, where I worked for 1 year. And then I felt like I needed to go to business. So I went in the wrong side. I went to the hotel industry. I began a kiosk somewhere to make tea in Nairobi, a place called Likoni Road. And my father had just retired from his work, where he was working, and part of his pension he gave me some 100,000 to begin a business. So I thought going to hotel industry could lead me to make money, but that was not the case, because when I invested I put all the money in that kiosk, day by day I was losing that money, and after six months, the kiosk, the hotel collapsed. I could not pay for the rent. I could not buy foodstuffs for making for the business. The 12 crates of sodas which I bought were done, and then I was there frustrated. I did not know what to do. So I went back to my father, and then I decided to go back to where my passion was. I told him I want to go to driving school, because I have that passion of vehicles, driving, making vehicles. That's where my heart is. So I went back to driving school. He paid for me. I went back to driving school. I trained, and I was a qualified driver. And somewhere within that time, God opened a door for me with a company called a Toyota dealer called Alpha Motors, along in Nairobi, a place called Enterprise Road. That's where I went. I did an interview. I was successful, and I was there. Now where my heart was. And for 13 years, let me say for the first 3 years, I was very successful very competent electrician, dependable by the company, and they loved my job because I had the passion of doing that job. And after nearly 5 years, because I still had that passion of driving and doing everything, God continued to promote me from an electrician. I was doing diagnosis of vehicles, I was doing road testing of vehicles, and I was given the responsibility to be picking vehicles from the senior people like the members of parliament, managing directors, NGO bosses, and I continued to grow in my profession. 13 years down the line, I had grown to a level where I felt like I needed to go to the next level, because at that level I was just a mere supervisor, and it's like I had gone to where I could go in times of growth. And I remember praying and telling God if He can open a door to take me to the next level. And I remember our bishop, who is Bishop William Tumising, came to preach in our church. And he said he came to the church because of one person who God wanted to take to the next level. And there I was, I told God, it's me, I want to go to the next level. How? Which is this next level? I told God, I need now to grow, to have an office, to be a manager, to have a secretary, to have an office where when I walk in, so I have a secretary who can give me a cup of tea. I have at the company pay for my phone, to have a company car. That was my desire. And then it happened after Bishop left. After 1 year, I had forgotten about that prayer I had made. I had forgotten about the desire I had. And 2 years later, one day, as I was walking out of the gate in Alpha Motors for lunch, I met the director's secretary standing at the door, holding a book with a letter inside. He told me, Alfred, come, this is your letter, sign. I opened the letter, and the company no longer required my services. That was the story. That was the end of the story. I looked front, side, behind, and it's like, now, 13 years I was here, I've done nothing wrong, and now the story is over. I could not understand. Then I called my wife, I told my wife, now it's over. My wife told me, asked me, oh, it's over, eh? Praise God, come home. And I felt a relief from me, something come out of me. And then I went home. My fear was, how will my son feel when he hears that his father does not have a job? My daughter, and it's like he was going to high school. How will I make ends meet? So, to cut the story short, after 3 days later, early in the morning, as I was waking up, I had a call. It was a Chinese asset of a lady calling me, Alfred, where are you? It was around 6 in the morning. Where are you, Alfred? I told him, I'm in my house. Come, boss wants to see you. You see that Chinese kind of language. Come, boss wants to see you. Okay, somewhere next to Alpha Motors where I used to work, God had recommended a Chinese investor to come and open a big workshop for repairing cars. And for 2 years, he did not make a business. So every time, he could see me driving Land Cruisers, big vehicles, drive testing, and he admired me. And at this time, he wanted to poach me from that company to his company. So I told my wife, it's like, I want to go to business. I don't want it. I think this Chinese is calling me to give me a job. So I went to that company. He had come with a heap of many Chinese, around 15 Chinese technicians, engineers, to come to do business in Kenya, but did not have business. So when I went to meet him, he did not ask me for any papers, certificates, nothing. I met him, the director. So I remember we were standing somewhere, and he knelt down, and he was telling me, Alfred, I want you to come here to be big boss. Big boss. Me boss, you number 2. You number 2. So I asked him why. And then he was telling me this. He was showing me he was referring to his general manager. China, you here, big boss. Salary, how much? Then it's like I was getting confused. I was not remembering the story of the bishop prophesying that somebody is going to the next level. So I was there, and I said I will have to ask for a very big salary, bigger than the managers of Alpha Motors where I was, so that he doesn't give me a job, I go to the business. So when the kind of salary I asked, He told me, no, 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 no. He deducted 10,000 out of that salary, but still it was too big. It was a lot of money. And I said, okay, it's okay. What else? A car for boss. Company car for boss. He told me, no, you have car. No, that's for my wife. Okay. He went to the office, took a bunch of keys, he went to the workshop, and he was holding a remote. Chichi! Now, this car for you. Tomorrow, this car for you. Then, from there, I asked him, what else? What does a boss require again? Then I said, money for phone. He asked me how much. You know, I was used to loading my phone with 50 shillings per day. It was enough. I told him 3,000 shillings. Okay. It's okay. He asked me, what else? Fuel for car. Yes. How much? 10,000. Okay. So I was getting confused. So the challenge was I was to come to the company and change the fortunes of the company. So I was there, and I came the following day. We had the senior managers in the company, and I was there as the general manager just to transform the company. But I believed in one God who had promised to give me a job, that he was to give me grace to turn the fortunes of the company. So I was there, and things were not working for the first few months. The company did not have business. The premises was big, and they were there, everybody looking at me to give them business. But God gave me grace to go to every company, to go to the insurance companies. I remember he had a challenge of local people calling him and telling him to give money so that he can buy business from insurance companies, from corporates. And I told him that's not the way to go. I'll go in the name of my God, and I'll get that business. And I remember I used to go to these insurance companies. I go, I say, I want to meet the claims manager, I want to meet the general manager, and they always gave me audience. The first place I went, they told me, now, I don't promise I'll give you business, but once you get it, you will do. And after 1 year, I remember I asked him, how much do you want per month? How much business do you want per month? He told me, if you give me 5 million per month, I'll be okay. And we did 8 million by the grace of God. So he worked and worked and worked until the workshop was full, and he had nowhere to keep vehicles, and his statement was good, and things were not working. And after 5 years, I thought things were working very well, and God still wanted to take me to the next level.